I like to look at the wording sometimes. We'll meet with the media. If you're going to have a statement, you're not meeting with the media. This feels like there might be a Q&A going on with Shohei Ohtani and his new interpreter. And he is on the staff with the Dodgers. He has been an interpreter before for the Dodgers. So I think Ohtani's strategy, his team's strategy this weekend was, let's basically point out all the flaws with this interpreter. And that he said he worked for the Red Sox and the Yankees, which he didn't. Said he went to a university that he didn't go to. Now, how nobody saw or realized or figured out that he didn't work as an interpreter for the Yankees and Red Sox is kind of mind-boggling. It feels like Ohtani's side is changing the story the best that they can, trying to distance themselves from somebody who's an imposter, that he lies, deceives people, and maybe that's what he did to Shohei Ohtani. I think Ohtani's team had a pretty good weekend. Now what happens in this Q&A? You're going to go over all the possible if you open it up to questions, which I would be surprised they're going to do, but maybe they do. You just want to make sure that you don't get tripped up here. And I would do my best to deny any direct involvement, did not know it. Now, there are going to be news reporters there, not necessarily sports reporters, because this is a bigger story than just sports. Now, people are going to want to know, how did that money get transferred to this bookie? Off your computer, if that's where it came from, how did it happen? Did he have your login information? I mean, just these are normal questions that you would be asking. And whether you think Ohtani is involved or not, you're going to ask these questions because you want to make sure that if he is innocent, you like what he's saying, that the answers you're hearing make sense. Because the interpreter in his 90-minute interview with ESPN said Ohtani covered his gambling bets and that you have a paper trail of two $500,000 money transfers off his computer. Just trying to figure out, I'm surprised that you would have somebody as a bookie. Now, I can only go with my experience of how much leeway they give you with your gambling debts. Because that's a lot of money, unless they know Shohei Ohtani is going to cover your bets. Because if I'm a bookie, I don't let you get to that kind of money. He doesn't have that money. That's one of my biggest questions is, okay, so I'm going to give you a tab that you can, let's say you can have $1 million, which is, to me, crazy that they would let you do it because he doesn't have the financial, his salary would never allow him to do that. And as a bookie, all you care about is, can you pay? That's it. Can you pay? My bookie asked me one time, he was like, can you pay this if you lose? I didn't even think about losing. Now, I won the bet, but he did ask me because I was betting $1,000. And I said, yeah. But if you're betting $500,000 or $1 million or up to $4.5 million, that's what's surprising, that an illegal bookie would let you do that unless he understood what the financial background was. And I don't know if that comes out today, but that would be one of the questions that I would want to know. And why were you doing it with an illegal bookmaker? So there's a lot of questions here, but I think the probably obvious one that you want an answer to is, how did the money get transferred to this bookie? That's all let's just start there. Help me understand that. Now, if he says, look, he had access and he logged on to my computer, he had access to my bank, okay, then we're going to find that out because somebody's got to explain that. And not that the bookie has to say, hey, here's the reason why I let him bet as much as he wanted to. Yes, Mark.
Do you think the commissioner has had any talks with Ohtani's people? Like, hey, what really happened, guys? Just let me know now so we can try to problem solve this issue right now.
Well, they're investigating. Now they're investigating. When we last left you, I think on Thursday or Friday, I was told by a source they were monitoring. Now they're investigating. I don't know if the commissioner would reach out during an investigation. I think you have to do your due diligence And then when it comes to that time where you go, this is what we've found out. I mean, and baseball's in a precarious position here. You don't want to find out. And Bob Nightingale, the great baseball writer, said that I think he was told basically the worst thing that will happen to Ohtani is he gets fined because there is some kind of involvement. But I don't think there's a suspension, at least according to Bob Nightingale of USA Today. And the story changed 3 times. That was another problem that I had with it. If it's cut and dried, this guy stole from you, this is massive fraud, then the story shouldn't change. Unless the interpreter is just trying to give you a story that protects him. Hey, I mean, I was gambling, but I didn't steal it. He paid my bets. You can fire me, but, so I'm just trying to understand both sides of this. Actually, when there's 2 sides of a story, there's really, 3. It's his, and then there's somewhere in the middle, there's the truth there. And I think that is, and it's coming up this morning. We have not been given a heads up. We asked the Dodgers if they had a time frame, which they did not. Yeah, Paul.
The interpreter, Mizuhara, actually had a bio before he came over to America that he worked for the Red Sox and a few other teams. The Red Sox actually issued a statement this weekend. They said they went through all their forms, all their files, and said he never directly worked for the team or was paid by the team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a statement that went out during the weekend.
Yeah, but if it's on his resume, do you think that the Red Sox or the Yankees would say he didn't work for us? Like, why did it come to this that we're finding that he didn't work for the Yankees and Red Sox? George O'Leary got fired at Notre Dame because he lied about his resume.
But do you think that when Ohtani joined the Angels and then the Dodgers, they said, this guy is attached, that he comes with Ohtani, it's automatic, and they didn't do their due diligence? Clearly they didn't. I mean, they didn't do their due diligence.
No, but that's what I'm saying. How do you hire somebody if he didn't really do what he said he was doing? Like, wouldn't you at least go, I don't know about this? Because it's not like you're tracking down, high school records here. It's the Yankees and the Red Sox.
You would think that they would have made a call to be like, hey, how is this guy?
Yes.
But apparently they didn't.
Yes. Hey, he's going to be around our star player. We'd like to know anything nefarious here. How was he as an interpreter? Just simple questions. Feels like, I'll just put some stuff down on my resume. Nobody's ever going to check that. I mean, we all probably fudged our resume a little bit there. Seton?
Fudged is an interesting word. I attended West Virginia University. I don't say in there that I graduated from there.
That's a big deal, though. Attended and graduated. He's factually correct.
Where did you go to school? West Virginia University.
Yeah.
What'd you get your degree in? I would say, I never finished. I didn't get one. I never finished.
Yeah, Paul.
It's very interesting for your resume. What is in play and what isn't? Let's say you were like 22 years old and worked one basketball game for ESPN running cable. Marv, you've worked for many different places. If you work one day, you could put, I worked for ESPN on your resume.
Yeah.
Or I worked for NBC Sports on your resume. But then when you put the date frame, you keep it vague.
Yeah, I would think that, people do that. Yeah.
Like if I say West Virginia University 1996, is that the year I was there or the year I graduated? I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe you take it one way, but I'm not lying to you.
Who knows?